Good morning. I thought you were going to put your arm around me.
Good morning.
Oh, God.
Sorry. I get a little excited about stuff, man.
Stuff.
Just get excited.
Just stuff in general.
It's a good time.
I'm Pam.
I'm Derek.
And we are...
excited. About renewal through COVID-19. Not necessarily COVID part, but about renewal.
We're not excited about the COVID part, but
excited about that. Yeah.
So getting through that.
Yeah.
Through that.
Meaning
on the other side.
On the other side, yes. Thank you.
We're posting a video every morning at 5 a.m. in the group. We're also sharing. I haven't been so good at sharing it on my main page.
People.
Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Last week I was great at it.
Last week you were great at it? Okay, so the ones in the group, you guys are getting this every day. On our main feed, it's hit and miss. So remember to do that. So if you would like to see the videos every day, you should probably join the group. Just saying.
Yeah. You can catch them on the YouTube playlist. And if you join the group, I'll tell you where it's at.
Anyway, we're also doing a small group on Mondays, and we have plenty of room. So
yes. So
let us know if you would like to join us next Monday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, we slotted for 10 open seats. We have about 10.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. 10.
It's wide open. Come on in.
And don't feel like if you join the Zoom group, we're gonna make you say a prayer or make you talk or make you even have your video on if you don't want. We would like to encourage you to do those things, but we're not gonna make you do anything. We just want to build a community, something outside of just the two of us talking.
By the time it's over, you'll pray on your own anyway.
Yeah.
God, get me out of
here. Yeah. I am so tired of listening to Derek. So we're moving on. So today we're talking about love.
Yes. Let's talk about love.
Okay. So Romans 12:9. Let love be genuine. Abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Now I want to stop for a second and read the definition for abhor. It is regard with disgust and hatred. So it's not just saying ignore what's not good because I don't want to be involved with that. It means hate that, hate evil, to be disgusted by it. And evil comes in many forms. It's not just murder and people being victimized. There's a lot of forms of evil.
I think it's interesting that it says that right after it says to love others.
Yeah.
Like there's a direct contrast. It doesn't tell you to hate the people.
No.
Because they're evil.
Yeah.
It says to hate what is evil or hate what is wrong.
Love the sinner, hate the sin.
Yeah.
Is a term I've heard before.
Yeah. It's very widely used. I wonder how many people who use it
actually
really mean it.
I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah. So the NLT says it a little differently. It's the same context, but it says don't just pretend to love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. So again, it's that contrast there. But it says not to just pretend to love other people. Which is sometimes easy to do. Pretend to love people that are difficult.
So what does this tell you about God?
Oh, man. So much. I forgot about those questions.
I knew you did. So, so I mean, what I'm pulling out of this, obviously, God is about genuine love. Not about playing games. God's about genuine love. God also has a very black and white view of things, which obviously God's view is probably the correct one, right? So there's a lot of like there's a line like you love people but hate evil. People are not evil. Evil can be in people. People can act out evil, but people themselves are not because we were created by God. So, let love be genuine, abhor what is evil, and hold fast to what is good.
I think I think it specifically says to hate what is evil because of what it does to people. Obviously that's why God hates evil, because it destroys his children.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The biggest thing I got out of this, I kept saying it earlier, is love is hard work. I wrote it down.
He did write it down. He also said it probably 20 times.
Love is hard work.
It is. Trust me. I love you.
Wow. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Look, I'm not done with these questions.
I know it.
So what does this tell me about myself?
I don't know. What does this tell you about yourself?
This tells me that I need to be instructed in these things.
I'm here for you.
Thanks, babe. But no, in general, this was in here for a reason. There's none of these verses are in here because it sounded good together. They're all in here for a reason. And so we have to be reminded to have genuine love. And we have to be reminded what that means.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go on over here to Points to Ponder, because in Points to Ponder, it says genuine love like authentic food, because it's talking about the difference between like going to an Italian fast food restaurant or whatever, and then the
Wait, they have that?
Well, Mazzio's.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Versus like going to the hole in the wall Italian restaurant where, like it's being homemade and it's like a family recipe, there's a huge difference. Well, it's kind of comparing that, saying, genuine love, like authentic food, just takes work. It requires time and resources and patience and preparation. There are people to serve and messes to clean up. It's not always convenient, but it is always worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then Derek said, write this down.
Love
is
hard work.
It's hard work.
It is. It's hard to love people sometimes. When you don't want to love people sometimes. Sometimes I say, you're not really people because I like you. And I don't like people right now.
Did you hear him say that?
Yeah. But as a whole, I do love people. I don't always like people, but I
say, you don't have to necessarily like people to love them.
Yeah. And a lot of the times when I'm like frustrated with people is because I see them doing something stupid. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm the kind of person that can be mad at someone and then 5 minutes later, if they've stopped doing the thing I'm mad at, I'm good.
Like chewing. He doesn't like it when I chew.
Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, it always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part and prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. It's long.
That is long.
But it's good.
You said a lot of words, and you said them all right, and they weren't hard.
Love is patient.
Words weren't hard for you tonight. What are you trying to say?
Love is kind. I think if you're having a hard time, or if you're in a difficult situation with a person, it would be good to read through this and grit your teeth through a lot of it and ask yourself honestly if you're loving that person. Probably gonna get the no on a lot. If you're having to read it because of a difficult situation, probably.
And not to say that if I get angry at Derek that I don't love him. That's not what that means. Right. I mean, if I am angered at him, if I love him, that means I'm going to want to turn from that. I'm not going to want to continue to be angry at him, so I'm going to change that. Because with everything, it is a constant learning experience. So with everything, as long as you're chasing after what God wants, then you're at least going in the right direction.
Yeah. I think I do really good in the beforehand, like now, and then the afterward, looking through it. But
what do you mean like now?
Like now, like,
are we mad at each other? Are we gonna be mad at each other?
Eventually.
I mean, like,
you will
when?
Be mad at me again.
Like when? Like soon?
I don't know. What time is it? But my real problem is in the moment, when I'm angry, when I'm upset with something, is this doesn't necessarily come to mind until afterward, and then I can see. Then I can see my shortcomings. All one of them.
I think the important part about that is, did you say all one of them? Anyways, the important part about that is that happens with a lot of us in the moment. We're not thinking this way. In the moment, we want to be right. In the moment, we want to show them how wrong they are. In that moment, you feel like you're the victim and they're the monster. And so afterwards, we see where, okay, we might have had a part to play in all that. At that point, if you apologize, that's great. You should apologize. I mean, I know that there's this thought out there. It keeps no record of wrong. It gives without expecting a thank you. Okay, so yes and no. If you've hurt somebody, apologize. Because that is a way of showing them love. Now, if I
think it's on the other hand, they're not supposed to keep a record.
Yeah. So, like, if I hurt Derek and then I haven't apologized, I'm wrong, but should he hold that against me and decide that he hates me now because I haven't apologized to him? No. And he doesn't expect that as a, what am I trying to say? As a qualification for our love.
Right.
I was going somewhere with this. It was going to be amazing, I promise. Anyways, after all that said and done, you apologize and all that. Don't let it stop there. The point of working through those things with someone you love is afterwards you try to continue to grow. So you try to continue to correct those things and adjust and tweak, and that's forever. I mean, that's never going to stop.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard work.
Love is hard work.
It is hard work. And I was actually just thinking about that. I think it was last night, because every once in a while I try to make him tell me how much he loves me. And so I was like, do you love me? How much? And he said, too much. I'm like, that's not even a good response. Like, I wanted more, right? But I started thinking about that, and it was a good response. I love you, baby. But I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about the whole, do you love me as much as you did the first day you met me? And, oh, I love you even more. And I'm like, that's just corny. And then met me, and, oh, I love you even more. And I'm like, that's just corny. And then, well, but honestly, that's true. Because when I first met him, and I was saying this to him earlier, and he totally misunderstood what I was trying to say. But when I first met him, every time I thought about him, and every time I looked at him, I got like these butterflies. Like, literally felt like these tinglies in my belly, right? And I love him now, and I'm very happy to see him the majority of the time, but I don't always get butterflies in my belly. I mean, it's just reality. And he said, well, I always do. I'm like, you couldn't survive that way. Like, you couldn't survive if you're always feeling like that. But, I mean, but the reason why is because I've moved from this nervous excitement of something new, and, you know, when I would see him and look at him, it's because I thought he was cute, right? And I'm like, oh, he's cute. Oh, he likes me, you know, the whole thing. Well, now I'm comfortable in that, but we've also been through a lot. We've had a lot of really bad arguments, and we've had, you know, we've had a lot of trouble, and I mean, like, deep trouble, guys. Like, we survived it.
Not that.
Whew. But that's what true love is built from. That's genuine love. I mean, you have to go through things. If your love is built on your butterflies or, you know, all the good things, and there are a lot of good things, but if it's built on all the good things, what's going to happen when there's not any good things right now? When we went through that period of time when he had lost his job, and I had taken a job before that, making less money, and then my dad passed away, and then our dog got cancer. I mean, it was like the worst country song ever. But, you know, we went through all of that, and I went through a time of extreme anxiety and depression to the point that it was not okay. If we had based our love on all the good things, we would not have survived that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had rough times, and you know, it was like during that time when I would have a really bad day, and I had a lot of those, he tried to not have such a bad day. When he was having a really bad day and I could come out of my fog enough, I would try to encourage him and not have as bad of a day. Even though we were both still having the anxiety, that didn't stop. But we were there to take care of each other because we love each other. Yeah. It wasn't about me in that moment. It was, he needs me. He needs me to be strong right now. I can't focus on what's going on in here. I put that aside, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, you never know. You never know fully what the other person is going through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't always tell you like how deeply things were affecting me.
Yeah.
But it did help to have the encouragement, even when we disagreed, or she thought I was making wrong decisions, or, you know, she was still supportive.
Yeah. And he got really close to my dad. I mean, he loved my dad, but at the end there, he spent a lot of time, because he wasn't working. And so he was able to go up to the hospital and stuff, and he spent a lot of time with my dad. But I was so clouded by everything that was going on, I didn't allow him time to mourn. And he was really close to him, and he wanted to mourn, but he ignored that. He ignored that I was being selfish, because he loved me. And so he let me be until the one day I realized what I had done to him, and I apologized, and I could tell that it really, really struck a chord with him when I apologized for not letting him have his time to mourn. But that's a pretty big deal. I mean, because to him, my dad Well, I mean, I can't really speak for you, but I would say that my dad was a father figure to you and that you really cared about my dad, you know? I mean, him and my dad had some really good talks.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother likes to say that my dad loved him more than he loved us. So, but I mean, you know, they got real close, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal to hold back your mourning so that someone else can mourn. That's huge. I mean, that if that doesn't tell you somebody loves you, I don't know what does. Oh, this is precious.
You're precious.
This is a moment. Did you see that? We had a moment. So we're moving on. Is that what you're trying to say?
That is the 100-year-old
Love is
patient. I love that clock, but it is rather inopportune sometimes. But I still love it. I'm patient with it.
Anyways, 1 John 4:19 offers this resource. We love because he first loved us. We love simply out of divine duty. We love because we can't help ourselves. Love has captured our hearts because we were first loved by genuine love himself. See here, God is love. And just keep that in mind. It's not a cute little saying that God is love. True love is what God is made of. So I know that's kind of hard to wrap our minds around.
Yeah.
But
like God's never had an act that we read about that wasn't an act of love.
Right.
Which
everything that he has done was an act of love.
Yeah.
Whether we understand why, you know, we have a lot of questions, and hopefully someday we can ask all those questions and get all the answers. But just like your parents, when, Pastor Witt was actually talking about this. When you're a child, you lean on your parents, and even though most of the time you might question your parents and that thing, all those things, but in the end, when something's scary, you go to that parent, and it's because you know that parent loves you, right? So, and it's just that feeling of security because you know love. You know true love there. And that's with God. We may not understand everything, but we know, we can feel that it's true love and that God is never going to do anything to hurt us. And we know that, whether we understand it or not.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's a work in progress too, just like any other relationship. I suppose that it's hard work too.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds kind of silly to say it's hard work to love God, but
it is.
It is. It's really hard work to love God.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever actually heard somebody say that. I think maybe it's probably not a popular phrase to say with a lot of people, but yeah.
I think you would appreciate it. The result of working towards it.
True.
If it was just there.
Yeah, no. There has to be there has to be the journey to get there. Otherwise it's not the same.
Yeah. I think that's why marriage is a picture of relationship with God.
Yeah. Yeah, because with marriage you can't just, I'm tired of this, you're not good for me, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, I guess you can, a lot of people do, but I mean,
a lot of people do that with God. So
absolutely.
Still a picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still a picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So prayer to pray again. This is just to lead you in a line of thought, to say your own prayers. Write it down if you need to. However you need to get a real conversation going with God. Not just saying some words, but a real conversation going with God. Because remember, this is a real relationship. This isn't some figment of your imagination. This isn't some ritual you're going to go through. This is a conversation between you and God. So this is to lead you in a line of thought, just to kind of get you going in that idea, and then you say your own prayer. Right? Father, Scripture tells us to behold what manner of love you have given us in Christ, that we should be called the children of God, for that's what we are. As I consider your great love for me today, I ask that you imbue me with power to let my own love be genuine. Incline my heart to you and not to selfish gain. In Jesus' name, amen. So imbue means to inspire or permeate with. So where am I? As I consider your great love for me today, I ask that you permeate me with power to let my own love be genuine.
Yeah. That's good.
Gotta preach.
Gotta preach. Yeah. I was trying to wrap my mind around that earlier. Trying to wrap my mind around the definitions, but it was much clearer just now.
Funny how God works.
God, thank you again for the time and the privilege of being here. God, thank you for the love that you gave us and for the love that you have revealed through your Son, through our relationships, through the times you've carried us through our marriages, through our friendships, through our church, through every interaction that we have. God, if we want to see you in it, we can see you. God, help us to want to see the love that you've given us, the love that you have for us in our daily lives, in our interactions with other people. Help us to carry that out as well. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
All right. We will see you tomorrow. You can't sing.
Tomorrow. Man, I love that tomorrow. Bye.